Hi guys, welcome. I recently found out I was pregnant and then found out I was going through a miscarriage, and I thought about the infertility clinic and everything that goes into trying to have a baby, and I thought it would be interesting to calculate how much we have spent so far on our infertility journey, and to just let you guys know how much infertility costs for each section of it. So let's get into it. So if you are new here, my name is Kat, and my husband and I have been trying for almost 2 years to have a baby. We have went through one unmonitored round, one monitored round, and then an IUI round. The IUI round was successful and we got pregnant, and then at week 5 I found out I was having a miscarriage. That's everything we've done so far, and let's get into how much each thing costs. So I've broken down everything, and every clinic is different. If you have insurance that will cover some of it, that's amazing. Our insurance covers none of it. They see having a baby as a optional and not a necessity, and not something that you need. In my case, I want a baby and I need a baby. And so we are doing this all out of pocket. Our insurance covers nothing. They do cover the Provera, but only a portion of it, because they will not prescribe me the prescription for it. I don't know why, since you need a period to stay healthy as a woman, but I don't know. They cover a section of it if I pick it up at their pharmacy, but I still have to pay for a portion of it. I don't know their logic there. But anyway, the first consultation appointment for us at our clinic, so remember, everything's for us at our clinic. This is just a ballpark idea of how much you should be expecting or thinking about saving for if you are going through infertility. The first initial consultation was $150 just for the appointment, to go over our medical history, to go over what she would recommend first, and that appointment. Then I had blood work done and an ultrasound done, and those both cost $310 together. I didn't get them separated or anything, so I don't know how much it costs individually. The semen analysis was $140, and then I had an HCG. Now, they don't do HCGs at the clinic. Well, they do, but it costs like $1,500 or something. But you can have an HCG. They gave a list of all the places that have systems that they trust, I guess would be the word. And so I went to the place that cost $750. So every place though was different. Some were thousands of dollars. Some were, I think I went to the cheapest one. Actually, no, I think there was one cheaper, but it was like 3 hours away or something. So I didn't see the point. Clomid, I get it at Costco. It always costs around $22. The higher dose that I took, 150, it cost $26. So I've taken 3 rounds of Clomid, so it ranges from $22 to $26. The Provera, like I said, the insurance covers the cost of it, so I paid $10. I don't know how much it would be usually. At the clinic, the ultrasounds always cost $165. That's just their amount. And then letrozole at Costco again costs around $12 to $15. The trigger shot, the trigger shot and the no, I just had the trigger shot that time. Yeah, just the trigger shot. So the trigger shot is interesting. The first time I did the trigger shot, they sent me through a what's it called, pharmacy, that it costs $180 just for the trigger shot. And I thought that was kind of crazy, but then again, it's a pre-filled syringe and all of that comes, so it's like, okay, whatever, we're doing what we need to do. And then the second time I did the trigger shot, they sent me through a different pharmacy. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear the clicking, but the kids downstairs are doing something. I don't know what they're doing. We live in an apartment, so the neighborhood kids, for some reason, gather right outside our window. So I don't know what they're doing. So I'm sorry if you hear clicking. But anyway, the second time we did the trigger shot, we went through a different pharmacy because the other pharmacy started charging delivery fees and stuff, and they decided, no, they're already paying a lot of money and we're not paying delivery fees on top of it. So this time the trigger shot costs $54. So much cheaper. I don't know why they weren't going through them to begin with, but anyway. I also had to be on progesterone, which is $45. And then the IUI, I forgot to get out this paper. The IUI covers a lot of stuff. Where is the IUI? Here it is. Okay. So the IUI covers, the amount covers quite a bit of things. But if you've watched my medicated cycle number 3 videos, then you know we didn't know if IUI was going to happen in the beginning. So I didn't pay for the full package in the beginning, but the clinic is nice and they deducted the prices that I paid leading up to leading up to the IUI. They deducted that from the total because it would have been covered if I knew immediately that I could do IUI. With that being said, the whole total for IUI is not 100. I wish it was 100. 1,200. I had 2 ultrasounds, so they deducted the 165 each time, and my total came out to 870, but that's because they deducted. So in the grand total, it was 1,200. We have not done IVF, and I don't know if we will, but they did give me a price range for that, but this was back when we first started at this clinic, so prices they can change, and so I don't know if this would be the same price. With that being said, they have 3 different packages, and I'm not quite sure because I've never done IVF why there's 3 different. I don't know why you wouldn't do the single retrieval. I don't know. Okay, so they have a package for 1 single retrieval is $8,800. 2 single retrievals is $10,800, and 3 single retrievals are $15,800. And then there's a whole bunch of things that you have to pay additionally on top of it. That I don't know what the actual grand total would be because I don't know what each thing they would want or require. So that's the general thing, and they do fresh embryo transfers, and it's an additional $500 on top of the grand total. Again, I've never done IVF, so I don't know exactly what that is, but I thought I would throw that price out there so that if you are thinking about doing IVF, you can kind of get a general idea of price ranges. So let's find out the grand total that we've spent to this point. Oh, and I forgot. If I had ended up staying pregnant, the clinic offers a what's it called? Early pregnancy. What's it called? I can't think of the word. An early pregnancy monitoring, I guess would be the word. Where each week they will do an ultrasound and blood work if you want, and they will do all of that, because our offices, I don't know if this is a typical thing, but our hospitals for OBGYN, when you end up pregnant, you call, you make an appointment, and they won't see you until 9 weeks. Period. They won't see you. So the clinic offers this early pregnancy monitoring, because for people with PCOS and infertility issues, those first few weeks are very touch and go. You don't know if you're at a higher chance of miscarriage. So they want to monitor you so that you don't go in at 9 weeks and they're like, oh no, you're not pregnant. But that also, if I had ended up staying pregnant, on this form it says it's $580, but I believe that price has went up to $650 because they talked to me about it when I first went in and they were saying my numbers were good. And I believe it was $650, not positive, but that's definitely worth it, because if I had felt anxious at all, I could have just called them and said, I want an ultrasound, and it would have been covered in that $650 any time period between 6 weeks and 9 weeks. I could go into the clinic whenever I wanted. So that was great to hear. They monitor everything through that. But let's find out the grand total that we have spent so far. Okay, so I have the initial initial appointment. I have our initial blood work. I'm sitting on my legs. Oh, okay. Our initial blood work and my initial ultrasound. My husband's semen analysis, the HCG, the first round of Clomid, Provera, the second round of Clomid, the first ultrasound, and mid ultrasound, another mid ultrasound, third round of Clomid, letrozole, an initial ultrasound, trigger shot, another mid ultrasound, another one, a trigger shot, progesterone, the IUI, which again, the IUI grand total is $1,200, but on this form it just says the $870, because I didn't deduct like they did. I just put it all together, what I spent and when. Okay. Then I actually, before I found out I was having a miscarriage, I had already ordered another refill of progesterone, so I will count that in there because I do have it for the next round. And there was something I had forgotten. Our doctor's office would have covered this, but because of the pandemic going on, all of the offices are closed, And so for non-emergency things, they pretty much aren't seeing anyone. Like, I'm a teacher and I need my TB test, and I don't know when that's going to happen. It's driving me absolutely insane, because just because we don't have the virus doesn't mean that we don't need to be seen. Kind of wishing we hadn't went through this insurance. But too late. So he had to have his blood work done at the clinic, which sucks because this could have saved us money. But his blood work was $305. I didn't have to do my blood work because I did my blood work all the way back in November of 2018. No, 19? 19. So I didn't have to have it done again. And it was covered through insurance. So his would have been. Sucks. And I have reached my limit. So I'm going to press equals. And then I'm going to add one more thing. I ended up, like I said, they told me, and if you haven't watched our miscarriage story or anything, then you don't know this, but I went in, they said my numbers were doubling, looking great, I didn't need to come back in, and then I knew something was wrong, and I called them and I said, no, I want my blood work ran again. And so that blood work is not covered under the IUI or under early pregnancy, because the IUI only covers 2 things of HCG blood work, and I had already done that to see if my numbers were doubling, and then my numbers were falling, so I couldn't do the pre-pregnancy. So I ended up having to pay $180 for the HCG blood work to cover if I was having a miscarriage or not. And so the grand total as of now is $4,111. So it's a pretty penny. Definitely a little less than I expected. I was expecting more. We plan on, well, we are hoping that they will allow us to do another IUI round, which means that it will be around $5,400 after the next round. But again, I don't know what's going to happen as of right now. Everything's kind of up in the air. When I'm filming this, I plan on giving updates as soon as I know. But yeah, $4,111. Not as bad as I expected. And let me show you. So to keep track of everything, I do it like this, and I just literally write after my appointment. I write it down, and that's my money log. And I even do, I have my apps, and if you haven't seen my apps video, you should go watch that one. I know I have my apps and all that, but I'm also because I'm a teacher, I like to write everything and document everything. Probably a teacher reason. But I also do dates. So I keep dates of any appointments and what happened at each appointment. And then I also, whenever I'm on the phone with the clinic, I will have this out, because then I just scribble random notes that they say while I'm on the phone, so that I know and can look back and be like, okay, they said it was this and this time and all of that. So, yeah, I hope this helped someone get a kind of an idea of how much to be saving, or how much to kind of expect when you go into a clinic. Definitely look into if you have anything covered through insurance, because every little bit does help. Yeah, like I said though, remember every clinic's different, every state is different. I think even every county is different. So just be prepared for that and be aware of that. But I really hope this kind of gave a general ballpark idea of money that will be spent trying to have a baby. But if you would like to get updates on what we're doing next and where we're at, I definitely recommend clicking subscribe to follow us along. And I'll see you on the next one.